thank you for taking the time to learn with us. Today, we'll hear from Jean-Marc, Teresa, and Isaiah, who felt lost for different reasons. They were searching for answers but couldn't find them, not even in the religions they grew up in.
I'm a French Canadian. I was raised Catholic, so as almost everybody of my generation that lives in Quebec. When I was younger, I lost a friend of mine. He was like my brother, and he passed away.
I'm the youngest of 7 siblings. I mostly stuck to myself. I was inside a lot. I grew up in a Catholic family. I was always told that God was important.
I got my idea of God and who He was from church, a church called House of Love, and I've been going there since I was a baby. My family didn't have much growing up. It wasn't the best environment or place to grow up in.
They faced all types of problems.
My dad went bankrupt, then my parents divorced. So I kept pushing the feeling down by doing drugs, by drinking, by doing all those wrong things. I was just lost. I was totally lost.
We settled in a not so very good neighborhood, and the people that did certain things for money, killings and violence and gangs were a thing in that area.
At 12 years old, I went through, personal life crisis that kind of broke my faith.
Teresa wanted to quit.
I felt completely let down. I lost all my faith in God. I asked my mother if I could stop going to church.
Isaiah wanted an escape.
I tried my best to run away from the problems, but ultimately they followed me wherever I went.
Jean-Marc wanted to reach God.
I started to pray again. I started to pray to God to find me a way, find me a solution, help me.
But eventually, they'd all learn of something that would change their lives.
I was working a terrible little job and didn't have a car. I ended up having to get a Lyft ride after work one day. The ride ended up being about a half-hour long, and he invited me out with some of the brethren, got to know them a little bit better, and eventually he brought me to a worship service.
A brother that came through my line when I was working at a cashier, and we talked about God for a little bit.
It was like a relief to me when I found the church. The minute you go, you just feel the presence, you just feel it, and that's very humbling. God dwells there, and He's waiting for you.
Once the service started, the main thing that I really noticed was the minister at the time was reading directly from the Bible.
They embraced me, they gave me hugs, they gave me handshakes, they opened their doors to me with bright smiles. That's a day I'll never forget.
Jean-Marc, Teresa, and Isaiah were each headed in different directions with different concerns, but they'd all find solace in the Church of Christ.
I remember I had my question, but somehow the lesson answered the question I had. So I never had question to ask after that.
Things that I kept to myself and never said a word, he answered for me. Even if I hadn't said those questions out loud, they were answered.
The Church of Christ was able to offer me something that I was missing my whole life. I would say that word is hope.
I think I'm a logical man, and when you open the Bible and you show me, it's written there what to do in your life to lead a happy, a good, righteous life. I'm not gonna argue with you, it's there, it's right there.
I couldn't find God on my own, no matter how much I wanted to. But I felt like there was a void in my heart, and I don't have that void anymore. Like I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Whatever you may be going through, if you're searching or running or trying to pray, you can find the right answers here in the Church of Christ. Jean-Marc did, Teresa did, and Isaiah did, along with so many others. Wherever you are on a map, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia, the door of the Church of Christ is open to you. The teachings you'll learn with us in the church, in Bible studies and worship services, they're the pure words of God. We hope you'll continue to accept our invitations to learn with us.